Good evening. What's up? Time for the scary bit where I press with chat scene and we see if you keep your 200 goon dollars. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. I think we finally got a singular run where it doesn't blow up. Let's fucking go. Had a bit of a rough day, but I made it home safely. Well, that's good. Not the rough day, but getting home safely. Whose outcome? Did the stream start without any issues? Yes. Congratulations on the return of your 200 goon dollars. Do you think I should change that to be a 5-minute prediction? Because normally what I do is I wait for 5 minutes so that the auto ad will finish. We're sure you'd win. To be fair, every single stream prior to this has had an issue. I just actually fixed the issues this time. I'm actually trying to get Coalescence out for 1.0 release, so I'm actually fixing up a lot of the jank. I'm fixing all of the poor decisions I've made throughout the development of Coalescence. And if we're really lucky, it might just work. But usually when I put anything as a bet, as it were, I always lose. Damn. Unfortunate. I do actually intend on making a script to record my prediction history. I mean, technically, I do have a little bit of it. I can request information about predictions for up to 3 months after they end. Afterwards, they're fully deleted from Twitch. But I do intend on starting to record all of the predictions I've ever done. That's part of the reason that I was working on the prediction widget. If I go to my remote desktop, which I finally pinned the title bar on so I can actually like close it and shit. But like this prediction widget, essentially the reason I made this is that I might center it on the screen. So one of the streamers I've watched quite a lot of is Astral Spiff, and he has this little like prediction widget that'll come up on screen and it'll show the timer, the predictions title, both teams, and however much the teams have bet. And after the prediction, it'll tell you who the top 10 winners were on each side. I do kind of want to do the same thing with mine. I think that is fun. That's part of the reason that my prediction widget will resize based on how many teams there are. And there's exactly enough space to put 10 winners and 10 losers. Actually, I don't even think I get losers. I mean, I guess it'd just be the 10 highest people who paid on teams that didn't win. Yeah. But yeah, I want to make my own prediction widget. And include that in Coalescence, but it probably won't be done for a while. Because I actually don't have a way to have the timer run. Because the Lua script has a limited amount of time to execute. So I can't just have a timer in Lua. I actually have to run another script every second. And I can't do it for long periods of time because there could be theoretically a Stack Overflow exception if it recurses too far. So I need to make some way to actually handle like periodic events. and add a little bit more state information. What I wanted to do was have scripts would be able to set their own settings, which I still can do. It's just going to be I have to figure out how to do that. But those are all bindings I can do in scripting. It'll probably be like the 1.3-ish release for Coalescence. I should probably start tracking more accurately what I need to do for Coalescence. Something I can do. If I go to my Git repositories, if I unlock my password manager, which shouldn't have been locked, but you know, hey, we'll take what we can get. If I go to Coalescence, I can go to projects, new project, v1.1 roadmap. So we'll put on, can I do like, hold on. If I go to projects, now I make, for example, a new issue. Yeah, I can just move them. Okay. So we'll call it add per script settings to scripting. Labels. Do I not have any labels? What? Labels. We'll do the default settings. Now we come over here, we click this, we add a label, we'll add enhancement. And that's all. I now have issue tracking on Coalescence. I mean, I technically have a to-do list that I might move over. Not. Oh. It would help if I wrote the right domain, wouldn't it? I actually have a lot here. Are any of these things I shouldn't show? Secret? I don't think so. Here's my to-do list for Coalescence. Not all of them will actually be done. And some of them are probably implicitly done now because of the scripting subsystem, where it no longer needs to be done in Coalescence itself. But here's my list of things. But not all of these are 1.0. Anyway, let's get down to business. We have... Nope, that's not the right one. Cool, though. Visual Studio 2026 will update when closed. I don't give a shit. Anyway, here we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing some work to get rid of warnings, because there are a lot of compile warnings. There are 131 warnings, which is a lot less than the 700 or so I had a couple days back. Most of them are nullability now. Such as things like the nullability of this parameter isn't right, etc. It's boring shit, I'm being honest. But fixing it does mean that my app is more resilient to null, reference exceptions, stuff like that. I'm going to assert this exists. And this select x.toString. X is list items, isn't it? Yes. Why is this nullable? So let's see. String value 2, which is the namespace. So we can do if dictionary at callback type is string type, and dictionary at callback namespace is string and space. Then we call this line, which guarantees these are already the right type. They're already pattern matched, which means that they are checked against null automatically. Next. This is another nullability problem. We'll just do if log directory is not null and not directory exists. Log directory. Yeah, we just have to assert that it's not null. Most of the time, path.get directory name here isn't going to be null because file path is, well, I mean, the log directory is hard-coded to be an actual path, so it can't have no directory name. It will always be a valid directory. Ideally, we wouldn't be writing to program data directly like this because these apps don't work on Linux now. But oh well. The entire thing is built on Windows forms. I don't think it's gonna work on Linux anyway. What's next? Nullable sender. Cool. Read only and and unnecessary assignment. That was settings. Remove setting key. List scripts dot selected item as string. If list scripts dot selected item not string item, return. This is scripting subsystem, which can be null here. Yeah, typically it is nullable, but actually I'm going to declare it as not nullable. And assert this always exists because the only way to open this form is to have this already exist. I could make it internal as well. Which guarantees it can't be created from outside of the assembly, which a public one can be. So we'll call this internal scripting form, which means that this class can only be accessed from within this assembly. Most of everything is private. The select script can be made internal. I don't even think its reference is in scripting subsystem, so yeah, it does need to be at least visible to this assembly. This is the same thing. If scripting or list scripts selected item is not string item, return. Guarantees this exists. Next is term. These are banned terms for real-time audio. This is get term as string. We can do if dm.get value of term is string term. Yes. Oh, documentation is going to be a thing I'm really deficient on. Most of the documentation isn't there for things like scripting. Okay. Nullable? No, so this requires a callback. Isn't callback already defined in this? Oh no, this is OBS. It's defined in Twitch. What? Oh, we just call callback then. Okay. This value can be null. In that case, this entire operation fails. Because serialized object, if this is null, will not work. I guess this could be a empty array. I don't know. Try that. URL. Post body method. So this can be null. If PB is null, return or failed equals true. Which guarantees that's not null. Actually, a lot more issues in this file. What's going on up here? So it's that this is nullable, but this is the authentication form, so this must exist. Um, those are not used, so it doesn't matter that they're um, nullable from here. String state must contain a non-null value. State equals null. It can be nullable. We'll actually assign it null here. That fixes most of them. Most of them are just rename the things. So this one doesn't like me because I'm using web client, but I don't give a shit. So this is going to be a lot of use range operator. I mean, we'll just do it for the entire section. I really don't like how it looks, but that's okay. So I will change subsystem. I will change to not be nullable. Why is it still complaining? This is marked as a non-nullable value. Oh, it's because this is marked as MCS maybe. So this is another thing we can use pattern matching for. Is this nullable? How could this be null? All right, we'll just, I guess, check to see if they give me invalid information. State is nullable now. Yeah, that makes sense. Where is state defined? Which guarantee is here. This state we can call as not nullable. I don't care about this error. Okay, that said line 6, but it brought me to the end of the thing. So let's see. Typically, what I do with these is I make them a property, because then I'm not storing it. Although there should only be one of these. There we go. Want to be a read-only queue. Update thread can be read-only. OBS subsystem and socket can be read-only. Actually, these are properties, they can't be read-only. It wants me to change these to be capital names, but I can't do that. I don't know why this isn't marked as nullable. Not even guaranteed. It's explicitly not guaranteed here. I know, I guess it is guarded because this will return null, which is false. Interesting. I'm just gonna have to open these twice, I guess. Most of these like checks, this must be the case if the assembly is loaded, and otherwise there's no way to get to the trivia form anyway. So it's actually a tautology that it's always loaded. And should always be in the module list, but who knows? I actually think that the subsystems are fully visible. Yeah, it's a fully visible list, which is probably not a good thing. Because you can actually remove them. But even if I made it an IEnumerable. Because I can't clone it, because then subsystems can't have any executable code in them. I'd have to re-architect it. But I don't know how I would go about preventing people from editing the list. It really just shouldn't be public. I guess I could pass an enumerator, because the enumerator will break down if you attempt to edit the list. But at least make it painful to do. I don't know. I just work here. Sorry, I gotta get some music going. Alright. Yes. Actually, when is this assigned? What? I'd actually just make this the static constructor. We create an error the last place that I reference that. This is an unnecessary assignment. Okay. Should also be read. Wait, the assembly's version is 0.6. Easy. Okay. Let's build really quick. I can't build. I'm using coalescence. I'll just kill it. Let's rebuild to catch that one error that I made. This will guarantee that it was connected. Weird. We explicitly don't care if this succeeds or not. It'll happen every couple seconds. We actually want this and be null, but we want that. I wonder what file has the most errors. OBS subsystem event handlers does. Ah. The way to fix 6 errors. Oh, the RAID finder has a lot. But the RAID finder isn't something I'm that worried about. I actually need to hide the button. That's a good point. The RAID finder shouldn't be visible on release. Actually, I'm gonna just fully delete it. I don't plan on bringing it back to being in the app. Alright, I'm gonna rebuild just to make sure that I didn't increase the error count. And to get rid of its warnings. There are 64 left. Yes, keyboard hook. I want to remove the dependency on keyboard, but I can't. It's actually dependency for some of the others. Actually, this specific file is a dependency. The keyboard is going to be what provides keybind support. Actually, keyboard hook is supposed to be in the keybinds. Hmm. This isn't the keybind we're looking for. Is it though? You pressed event args. And it shows the modifier keys. Okay. This won't actually work long term because the hotkey IDs will my arm is like twitching. Anyway, the IDs will overlap. Also, this can just be ++1. Yeah. Weird that they did it that way. I think I got this code off of Stack Overflow. Just dumped it in. I was trying to fix an issue with. I was using pinvoke before, and it wasn't working. I used this instead. Really, none of it really is that great. But this is a way to register keybinds. It also doesn't work if the keybinds are taken by another app or another keybind in the app, but I'll leave it. What am I listening to? Oh, I can give it a dynamic, maybe. Oh, now it's angry. Um, I don't even need to put emit log. It's a different thing for it. Hold on. If coalescence meta dictionary dot or at do not log is bool do not log. There we go. I'm not going to catch this. I'm not going to log it. But somehow writing the log has caused an integer overflow exception. Yeah. I've seen this before. It's weird. I don't know how. There's no math. This can be /resources. That is very commonly used. Huh? Oh yes. Um, these are never used, but they're not to be deleted. Those are used in modules that are not loaded. I don't think this is possible, but nullability rules. Down to 44 errors. Okay, so this is something I need to delete. I don't think I need to have a reference to Twitch. Oh, there might be there's a, yeah, I know what it is. There's a scope control. We're just gonna delete it. Technically, I could have the Twitch subsystem manufacture a control and then send it over, which would work. It's incredibly wacky, but it would very technically work. All right, 38 left. Anti-dude. Pattern matching? $26. Hmm. Should declare it nullable. This can't be null. Its default setting is set right here, so that can never be null. Hey, Femboy Collector. Connector. Sorry, I see the word connect. My brain is tiny. We'll have to do this. If Twitch event subconnector.ts is not null. Otherwise, all of these subscriptions will fail. Did it work? Oh no, it didn't because Coalescence isn't running. Give me a sec. I'm currently editing Coalescence, so I don't have it on. Let me control surface, click RGB button where. There we go. The world is in balance once more. This area is also tiny. Well, that's not this area. That's ultramarine. This area is not very good for the whole model RGB deal. Actually, when I loaded VTube Studio, ultramarine was like this size. It was like this. I'm like, why am I so tiny? Let's pull out the goat. The goat, you say? Yes. It has to have a. I'm gonna make it instant. Gremlin, you have put a yeah, you just run change model and then type the name of the model. No symbols if you're using the if you're using the what's the word? The redeem. The goat. Yes. Isn't there a we love the keyboard model. Now we're talking. I don't actually know if this works or not. Nope. Unfortunate. The thing that forwards the keys, I think I deleted it. Because it would cause issues if this was released to people who don't have like these specific models. So the keyboard forwarder doesn't work. Also, VTube Studio has updated since I last patched it, so it wouldn't work anyway. Because for it to be high speed, I have to have I patched VTube Studio, which you're actually not allowed to do, but I mean, what are they gonna do? So I patched it to increase the amount of hotkeys you're allowed to send over the network. Because it's like you're allowed to send there's like a buffer of like 12 and it processes like 4 a frame. And if you're pressing keys really quickly, well, that's not fast enough. So I patched it to have I think 128 slots and it processes all 128 of them a frame. But since VTube Studio has updated since then, my changes are lost. I guess I don't need to have scopes on these. I just usually do. Oh, the syntax highlighter. This isn't even my code. I literally stole this straight from the internet. Where did I? Yeah, it says on the window actually. This is from Sina Iravanian. The one VTuber with a model that plays with a controller. I think Clover's the name. It's actually pretty common. I actually have a controller version of this model. I just don't use it because it requires me to have the controller connected to the remote PC, which just isn't helpful. And I also just usually am not playing with a controller. But there is a controller version of the model. Although apparently I don't have the Gremlin custom on it. Hold on. Oh, it doesn't have the colorations. Interesting. It's literally grayscale gremlin. What is this? It's supposed to be the green gremlin. I actually wonder how easy it would be to add the gremlin. Weird. I clicked the models button and then my remote desktop session died. Let's go back to the standard gremlin. The keyboard doesn't work. But yes. Oh yeah. I wonder if it would be possible to put Gremlin in Emote Lab because they're drawn by the same artist. I mean, I'd have to do texture editing because the hair texture is not part of the the model. I have edited it in. Although to be fair, the texture isn't that special. It's just a turbulence map from Bolt.Bait's Paint.net plugins. Paint.net is like my go-to app for if I'm generating noise and stuff. I don't know of a single graphics program that does it better. Bolt.Bait's like plugins are crazy. I actually think Paint on It is the most like impressive graphics editor in terms of extensibility that is still closed source. It's still not open source. Or if it is, I'm not aware of it. Curious. Hmm. Yeah, no, Paint on It is still not open source. He's been making it for a long time. I've been using Paint on It since I was like 7. Just realized Paint on It's been out for a long time. Interesting. Huh. So in 2027, he's going to make it so that the PDN format has the ability to support layer groups and mask layers and stuff. That's exciting. This change log is crazy. Damn, Paint on That released in 2004. Version 2.0 had Windows 2000 compatibility. Hmm. His his 2.5 release included internationalization, which is actually going to be one of the major issues with Coalescence. Is internationalization. I18N. I mean, it's actually not that bad. There's not actually that much text on Coalescence. It's mainly just the headers and then like the names of the subsystem. I will actually need to do something about that though. I don't have a way to even do I18N, much less have people translate coalescence. It's something I would like to put. It'll probably be here. You know what? Let's put it in the chain. Let's put it in the roadmap. That will be a version 2.0 feature. Issues, new issue. Add I18N support. Gotta get that I18N going. Woo woo. I need to make a milestone though. Version 1.1. Version 2.0. Okay. "21 errors left. One is complaining that I don't await this. I don't give a shit. Actually, I kind of do. We do probably need to wait this. This isn't a lot. This is like 30 megabytes, so I think waiting for this is fine. This is one of the weird ones. It does actually have to be null. This was written like 10 years ago when nullability syntax wasn't a thing in C#. So I have to like be careful about how I deal with this. "15 errors left." Of course, it's fucking error 67. Can't even get away from it in C sharp, man. Eh. Twelve left. Well, actually, there's 30 left, but some of them are hidden. Oh, no, those are all MS build ones, so no, there's only 12. There's apparently a timer here. Not too many left. 3 left. One left. This is already resolved. It's not. So wrong about that. Okay, literally every compiler warning is resolved. You know it's good when you hit them with the Sogma. Went all the way past Sogma, straight to Sogma. Now we run code analysis and see what happens. It's probably going to complain a lot. I mean, I know that there are more than 65 messages. It's always complaining. Here, let's do this. I don't have a suppressions document for this. There should be a lot of code analysis notes. Hmm. It's interesting. A lot of the things are this old file here. Hoping everything still works after I run all these. Interesting. It's caught that there's a that this length is the entire remainder of the string. All right, so it wants to mark things as static. That to-do never happened. It's been 10 years. All right. Non-constant field should not be visible. Actually, current error should not be. These file lists should be read-only, but these should not be. These should be get set. Not gets et. Do another check here. Here's one for lambda can be simplified. It's weird because there are things like removing this from these, which it has not. I can't run that on the entire solution because it's oh, this last one here. I did just delete the word this. It looks like a lot of movement. Done. What is not enabled here? Oh. I could do the same thing here, actually. All right. Do another rebuild. You get a new list of warnings. Let me delete MSB 3073. Just half of them. It's all just MS build complaining. They want me to use primary constructors, which I'm usually not super into, but oh well. Value 2 isn't used. This is completely necessary. All right. 10 messages left. I don't think this works, does it? Does that work? I mean, theoretically, it works. I don't have this song, do I? Well then, open YouTube. I have to do a double check to make sure you can't hear it. Why is that not? Why are you like this? Okay, took like 9 tries. This has been on YouTube for 5 years. Okay, we have no warnings left. Okay. I've now changed the default behavior to throw an exception if it doesn't find a subsystem. Because every single instance of subsystem.get in Coalescence by now assumes that there will be an existing subsystem at that place. I mean, we could even do a generic error notification. Okay. Now, anytime that it attempts to do a subsystem get using the this has 85 references. Holy shit. If ever it attempts to find one, it doesn't find it, it's going to start blasting the notification log. The 2 fails have occurred for the audio subsystem, actually. That does make sense, actually. Weirdly enough, it's stopping Twitch, which doesn't have any audio. I don't even think Twitch depends on audio. It doesn't. Hmm. An idea. What I can do is I can put a tooltip component on this. Then when we instantiate it, tooltip1.set tooltip for label message to be notification message, that it can be read in its entirety if it spills out of the document base. And now the subsystem get will reveal the stack trace that it occurs at. I just made changes to subsystem registry that should cause it to give the entire thing. Why is this tax trace not appearing? Huh? Unless tax trace is null, isn't it? Because it hasn't been thrown yet. So, two things. One, Clipper is under the name chat controller, which it's not supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's still named chat controller. I actually need to restore it. I shouldn't have deleted. I could just add audio as a audio is one of the base modules, so it's not super terrible if I add a dependency on it. These are weak dependencies anyway. Like the app will still work. It'll just actually I think it won't. I could probably make a way to mark something as a weak dependency. The thing is, like, if it's a, because like for example, like with the audio and Clipper connection, it's just a convenience thing. Like Clipper can still work if there's no audio. It's just degraded. Wait, what? Even with the dependencies, they're still getting initialized too early? Right. These dependencies are in their constructors. Audio stream has to be made in uConnect. And declared as nullable. This needs to be removed if audio stream is null. Turn. That's strange. I'll start that in a second. I don't know why that didn't work. Just cancel the build. Why is it not working? Oh, because Twitch never connected. I'll just have to do it manually then, I think. That's all right. There we go. This is the this is the problems you run into when you're doing development on your streaming tool. But also, hey Kenyon, how you doing? A palette swap. Oh, it's not running. That's okay. Give me 1 second. I can click the button. Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Huh? Something's still not working right. Alright, I can still click this button at least. This one. Did it work? Ah, you got old timey dusk. Now we just gotta get Mike in here. Left Twitch for a while, like 2 months. Huh? I mean, I have chat messages from the 5th. I think you left for exactly 2 weeks. I mean, given it's not like a long chain of chat messages. Well, you did stop by. All right, where's this? In Twitch auto moderator, I create an audio stream too early. I have accidentally opened the Bluetooth devices menu. Wasn't an accident I knew was possible, but hey. Wait, does that mean I'm special? Let's fucking go. I need to do a guard in play sounds. If audio stream is null, return. And also this one information also doesn't log anything when it goes wrong. Right, then I have to call all these ones x2. Right. Yeah. I mean, it also has a lot, I think, to do with like what times I stream. I stream usually pretty late, and usually, I mean, I guess I don't know what your time zone is. I want to say Australia, but that's probably just wrong. Wait, Twitch is not connecting now. What the hell happened? Twitch gets stuck. Maybe my authentication data is bad? Or re-authenticating? Have a YouTube channel? Yeah, I have 4. Okay, re-authentication failed. Things are getting weird. Okay. Huh? Even when I killed the base app, Twitch didn't exit. Alright, we're gonna have to read Twitch's log. What's going on here? That's not the log. But yeah, I have a lot of YouTube channels. I have my main one where all the streaming happens and I post my shorts. We have my VODs channel where I sometimes remember that I have a VODs channel. Where even is my VODs channel in terms of recency? 13 days old. Or no. Oh shit, it's 20. I need to edit out some music and then that's why I'm out of date. I'm gonna have to start doing some of that now because like I'm gonna run out of disk space. I have like 20 days of footage waiting. Yikes. Oh well. We'll get there. What's the other thing? Oh, and then I have my music channel. I think I've showed you my music before. Why is this not working? Isn't even the right version of Visual Studio. Go. This is because this? Maybe I go to the output folder and I annihilate everything. Yeah, let's give that a shot. Plugins and the actual output. Just to get rid of all of the old projects that shouldn't be there. My Twitch hit. Took a while. It took a while to do it. Let's see if this works. Yes, the Twitch works. I'm blue now. I'm Papyrus. You're blue now. Also scared of women, but green. Real-time audio is still saying that it hasn't connected. Wait, why did that one not work? Huh? That should have worked. That's not a good sign. That's really not a good sign. I didn't close it before that. So that one should have gone through. Have I, just before release, fucked it? Here, let's try it again. Where's palette swap? Here it is. That. Why does the palette swap not work? Eh? I only have one event subscription. So my authentication must be bad. Hold on. Why does this crash? Hold on. This shouldn't throw any exceptions. The authentication form, when I call, I just have to kill coalescence. So if I do this, and I finalize that, so this isn't being shown. So failed never reaches true. Unless this isn't returning? Huh? So the thought is if finalize automatic auth happens on a different thread, maybe this fails, but that shouldn't lock the UI. See. The fuck did I call it? Oh. Why is it weird like this? My guess is it's not actually finishing this request. So when I start coalescence again, I'll swap to the I'll do the palette swap. Okay, let me do this palette swap really quick. All right. Service, random hue shift. What? Now I'm grayscale dusk. Okay, so let's see if we can't get this authentication working. So it does like it changes the text and then gets locked. So what's happening? We got a response that was 429 characters long called update auth data, and we never made it back from here. So it is this Twitch resubscribe all. This is somehow getting into a permanent wait. All right, let's write this down. Oh, I may have annihilated the wrong task. That's awkward. Happened. No proof. I might be an idiot. Okay. Still locked up. Why? Updating auth data didn't make it to any of the deletions. So it didn't delete even a single subscription. I'm not sure what is causing it not to work. It'll be something dumb like it no longer processes the event data anymore, the authentication data correctly. I mean, to be fair, that's what I would get for using fucking substrings to process it instead of actually installing Newtonsoft JSON. It very well might be why. So here's where we're at. We get the events of subscriptions and it never gets anything. So that means we have none. But we never hit this line either. It means this line is throwing an exception that I don't catch. That'll do it. Which is going to be like, this guy keeps logging in. What the hell? I do. It still didn't log anything. Why is this happening? You know what? Let's just print the response. Well, no, because the response is from my server, so it should work. Fuck it. Let's print the response anyway. Ideally, we wouldn't do this. But I'm out of ideas. So we're just going to print the entire ask response. Because if it's an error, that would explain why this thing isn't working. But I legitimately don't know. I don't understand. Getting the event subscriptions is what's causing the issues. I know it's not throwing an exception, which means that all of this exists. None of the like request parameters are required. So this is a valid request, but yet somehow this never returns. Hmm. So I have two options here for what could be happening. Either my DNS server is shitting the bed, and I don't have a connection to event sub and Helix anymore, which is possible. And my server failure rate is 0. So it's not that. Unless it keeps returning an X domain. I mean, nope. All of my requests have hit. Which means, for whatever reason, this await causes it to never finish. I'm going to try changing it to run synchronously. This theoretically shouldn't do anything. But if it does, then it'll mean that my general aversion to writing async code was a fucking defense mechanism I didn't know I had. No, it's still getting stuck. Why is it getting stuck here? Getting trapped at that line. All right, you guys ready for the part where I accidentally show my access token? Actually, there's a non-zero chance I accidentally show my client secret too, which would be an experience, that's for certain. One moment. I have to make a file. There's a special file name you can make that disables some of the checking. I think the subpath is causing issues. Okay. No? Might be stupid. What? It's still not loading it? Is it gonna show the window or? Wow, it took all that time to do nothing. Your issue. Okay, fine. We'll put the debug. Believe in you. All you have to do is load more than one module. It failed to connect to Twitch. Ignore it and do the authentication anyway. Okay. Subscribe all. What? This is the line that got stuck? Why does this get stuck? see the data from here? And hmm, we'll just do this the easy way. That deletes all of that code. I don't think that's the problem, mind you. I just don't know why it's not. When I try to do the delete my like event subscriptions, it just stops, gives up. Wait, what? Wait, my tokens expire after 1 hour? Strange. An hour and 15 minutes. How long they last. Or sorry, not an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 15 seconds. It's worse. A lot worse. Still Twitch won't connect. I don't know what's going on. The really crazy thing is like it just stops executing on this line. Like somehow it immediately goes all the way up. I guess I could try catch this. Why is this not working now? Huh? You can't just say success. What? This got stuck. 87 now. Damn. Me wanting to read this, but I can't because it's gonna show you my entire ass like access token and shit. Uh, it's not a dictionary of string to string. It's a dictionary of string to object. Oh, I now need to recreate all of my client secrets and stuff. Oopsies. All right, let's see. How many subscriptions do we have? We have 9 subscriptions. Okay. Ask Twitch to delete 1, and it never exits. New plan. Tired of this shit. Okay. I am now going to wait 2.5 seconds for these to be deleted. And if it doesn't happen within the 2.5 seconds, we are going to just ignore the fact that there are still subscriptions and resubscribe them anyway. Should limit the downtime. I don't know why Twitch is doing this. This is entirely new behavior. Now the other problem we have is that for whatever reason, Twitch is marking that it's failing to connect. And it's not saying why. And now it says that it works. Grand. Hmm? I think the arithmetic exception is not anything related to math. Um it's that the global log writer goes out of range. But some pretty intense errors going on here. Anyway, gotta give it a second. But how is it failing? I have like so there's like only a couple ways. We get an exception, or if one of these status equals failed lines occurs. Okay, well, attempting to reconnect it worked, so we have to try this again from scratch, from the top of the, as you might say. What? How in the blue fuck? And I have every reason it could possibly throw an exception. I'm beginning to think it might be something really dumb. All we can do now is read the log and hope that I don't see something dumb. Is it dumb? Wait, what? Field define system? What? Right here. Hmm. The type initializer for bot interrupt subsystem failed, which is weird because I'm not convinced I've done anything to it. This doesn't throw an exception, does it? No. So not that line. That's the initializer. Nope, it can't be the initializer of that. What's the initializer that? Oh my. Know why it doesn't work. It's dumb shit again. So the problem is we need SQLite in this directory. And it is in the subdirectory. But I don't think it searches the subdirectory. So we need to do one of two things. What we can do is if file.exists plugins system.data sqlite.dll assembly.load. I think this is the root cause. Is that bot interrupt throws an exception. Twitch subsystem line 268. So Twitch isn't connecting. Okay, so it managed to load without reading the settings. Means it actually deleted all of my settings. Which is almost convenient for me because I need to I need to refresh my client secret anyway. If you think about it, it's just security with a gun to your head. I also, for some reason, cannot enter my username. I don't know why, but I can't. Okay, well, I think the first thing I need to do is put this in a separate try catch. Okay, let's see if this works. We're at least throwing errors in the Twitch module now. Means that just blindly loading system data SQLite caused bot interrupt to stop crashing. It failed to load the dependency again. Yeah, bot interrupt's not here. What is going on with bot interrupt? It can't still be angry about system data SQLite. I mean, I could just move it up a folder. Now it's definitely there and ready to be loaded. It's still failing though. What? What is your problem? I mean, that makes sense. The code that is supposed to force load system data SQLite doesn't work. I don't blame them because it is one of the weaker ways to load an assembly. Okay, this is interesting. It doesn't fail if I launch it standalone. It actually works perfectly fine if I launch it standalone. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. I have a new client ID. I'm like, why is it saying forbidden? It's because the secret's wrong. Okay. If I redeem palette swap, it just works. I legitimately have no fucking clue what Twitch's deal is, and why that delete of the subscription just doesn't happen, or why specifically if I load it from the debug branch of Coalescence, it does not work anymore with system data SQLite, which it previously did work with. It's so strange. Everything is so fucking weird. Anyway, it works now, which is better than I expected, if I'm being honest. So let's try something here. I'm going to close Coalescence. I'm going to delete the SQLite that I moved up from the directory. Still works. We do our authentication routine. Yeah, the delete of event sub is not working. So weird. It could just be slow. Maybe Twitch has some issues right now with event sub. I guess I could look up Twitch status. All systems operational. I don't know why. One of those things. Inexplicably, Twitch just decided, fuck you, we're not responding to your request anymore. Probably because I've logged in so many times. Probably like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Well, I'm debugging my application live and not using your Twitch tool that you made specifically to test the application, because I can't be fucked to learn it. Hey, you gotta be honest sometimes. Okay. Okay. Mm. All right. I think for now, I'm going to call it here. I need to decide what is going to be included with Coalescence, actually. Not all of these are going to be included. Probably model change won't be included. Trivia won't be included. I mean, I guess I can include it. I can leave Dyson to... honestly, this is probably what I would send. Everything except for model change. Model change is not something that I think most people need. Maybe I would get rid of ads UI as well, actually. I don't think most people want that. Not sure. But I don't think I want to send literally everything. But I also have a lot of polish I want to do. Right now it is still a little janky. I mean, the thing is, it's gonna be janky no matter what. It's always gonna be janky. But yeah. Especially the Twitch subsystem, which is it always feels like it's about to die. But yeah. I'm going to call it here. Let's find somebody to raid. I think I've been doing this for too long. I I think I've been over the past 2 or 3 days I've done like 30 hours of Coalescence development. They playing D&D? Well then, Pat, I'm sending you to the D&D. Oh, accidentally deleted your 87 message. Everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. Do I have any notes other than the DoorDash? I don't think so. So, yes, we're doing DoorDash to get the money up. But other than that, I don't think I have a whole lot. I do want to release Coalescence, and a lot of probably what we're going to be doing after I release it is going to be like troubles calls, essentially. Where if people have issues with it, I will look into it and fix it. So it'll probably become a pretty common thing that happens on stream. Is if somebody says, "Hey, Coalescence doesn't work," I'll make it work. But yes, everybody, I'm sending you to the D&D. Goodbye. Wait, raid message. Raid message. There we are. All right, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.